Hey Maria, back with another video. It's what time is it? It is 6:26 a.m. It is December 26th, Thursday morning, on my way to work, and I'm going to be a little early, which is fine with me. I just want to get the day over with and be back home, even though there's not much to do at home. But yesterday I enjoyed my Christmas was pretty okay. It was okay. I had my son come over and I made some chimichangas, and we just kind of had a little bit of a dinner or lunch. I call it dinner when it's like too early to be dinner, but like right after the lunch hour. I tend to eat early on holidays. I guess it's just a tradition. I know when I was growing up, my dad would get up early in the morning and they would be messing with the turkey like around 6 in the morning, and then sometimes we'd have dinner like around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I'm just used to doing it that way, get it out of the way. I know some people kind of wait till the evening. Like I said, everyone has their holiday traditions or their habits that they do during this time of the year. And I think that was mostly done out of convenience. I think that whole dinner setup many years ago was such a elaborate, long drawn out thing, because my parents made everything from scratch for the holidays. So there was a lot of chopping and preparing and that sort of stuff. So you just want to get it done, and once you get it done, get it out of the way. And so that's probably why it was done out of convenience for them, and so that was just something that I became used to. So, and there's no harm in that, so that's what I continue to do. It wasn't a bad day yesterday. I did feel a little bit irritated yesterday. I started thinking as my son went home, about how there was a lot of persistence of certain people to hang on to me or still have something to do with my life. After I've made it very clear that I don't want any sort of connection with these people. And that the main person I'd like to address in this video, I would say, is Pauly Graham. Pauly Graham is or perhaps maybe married to Joel Graham. I didn't know about that. But anyway, she really shouldn't have anything to do with my life, and I don't want her to be a part of my life. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything. Maybe she feels remorse for what she's done. I don't know. But I know that she made me lose a really decent paying job. I will say that decent paying job that she made me lose, I really can't say that I was that enthusiastic about working there, only because while I got there, I felt as though there was some sort of, I was being perped, basically. It was one of those kind of semi-toxic environments. I mean, I would say the boss who was working at that job, I think his name is Vard, he seemed cordial and everything, but it still had that, these people know me type thing. And then there was a lot of comments that were made that made me feel kind of uncomfortable, because it was already one of those setup environments. So I didn't feel comfortable there from the get-go. I did not feel comfortable there. I wanted to, because, you just want to settle and feel relaxed and everything, but I didn't feel comfortable there. But I needed a job. So she made me lose my job. And because of that, to say or expect me to forgive her is absolutely insane. I would never forgive someone like that. So also, I have my legal divorce papers, and I don't, there are people that I feel as though I don't want anything to do with. Like, I find them to be terrorists or something, like something very bad, like something that I really don't want to have any sort of association with. And I think it's terrorizing when somebody feels like they have the right to, put up boundaries or blocks to prevent you from living your life, especially when I've made it very clear that I don't want anything to do with Joel, especially after knowing that all of this stuff was going on. So, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm just basically severing ties, which should have been severed a long time ago, because I'm not comfortable with people hanging on to me. Yeah, I understand. I have quite a lot of challenges ahead of me because of all of this stuff, and that's one of the reasons why I addressed my previous employers I don't want to be associated with any of these people. I don't want to be associated with Polly. I don't want to be associated with Callie. I don't want to be associated with Esther. I think there was another lady who I spoke to who was related to Callie, I think maybe her name was Beth or whatever. I don't want any sort of association with these people because, all I really received from these people was negative things. And, I have a right to forget, and I think that's what I want to do. And I don't want to have to think about these people, or live my life, wondering how these people, how these people should have any sort of say in my life after knowing what these people are. If the community knows what these people are, why would they have the right to do what they're doing? You know what I mean? So I know I'm dealing with racism to a certain degree. Because obviously I've done nothing to these people. And for them to be able to continually manipulate a situation, when I'm making it very clear, I don't want anything to do with them. If I saw Joel recently at the store, and I didn't make any effort to talk to him. I don't ever want to talk to him. I don't want to see him. I don't, so I'm not doing this to be mean. It's just that, I'd rather not contend with those people. And it makes sense too. It makes sense to be that way. Yeah, I do know that, these people create a lot of problems for me. And I'm willing to do what I need to do. But I have to do it with knowing that, I'm done with these people. Like, I can't, it's not right for me to work their jobs. I don't want to work their jobs. Okay, I don't. Because, number one, everything that I've gotten from these people have been negative, And, I just saw a video recently. It was actually, my son was showing me this new show on YouTube. It's called Adam Ruins Everything. And I didn't even watch all the episodes. I probably watched some of them. This guy, provides like facts and kind of dispels a lot of the rumors and myths that people talk about in society. Like, people talk about Columbus discovering America, but we all know that that's not true, okay? But that was the official story that we learned in school. But when people start really digging a little bit further, they start discovering that that's not true, okay? So, they were talking about isolation. Now, when they were talking about isolation, they were talking about isolation more in terms of prison. Like, they put people in isolation if they go to jail or something like that. And sometimes, people go to jail for reasons that are rather frivolous, okay? But that wasn't the point so much. The main issue is that they were talking about isolation and the damage that it causes when people are put in isolation. It is psychologically damaging for a person to be placed in isolation, okay? And obviously somebody who would actually suggest something like that obviously has no ability to have, they are not incapable of having empathy, and they are doing it for malicious reasons, okay? Because the psychological effects of isolation, whether you're in a cramped little cell or you're going to a job that's out in the middle of nowhere where you're not interacting with people and you're not able to have a fully functional life, is psychologically damaging to a person. It's extremely damaging to a person. Also, I'm not living up to my full potential by working jobs that are limiting me. Like, I'm not happy doing jobs that really are designed for people who are, like, I don't know, teenagers. It's not for me. Polly and I believe Esther Gooding and these people, and I'm not trying to drag your name through the mud, but I simply don't want to have a relationship with you. To expect me to forgive after what you've caused me is ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think that I would forgive you. I would never forgive you, And it's just common sense that you shouldn't have anything to do with my life, I'm not sure if Elsie Lyles knows the Brown family, I don't know. There's so much that can go on Facebook, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do all know each other. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with those sort of relationships, and it's not a matter of me choosing between Joel or Steven. I don't want either one. I don't want either one. I'm fine the way that I am, and I don't want to be dragged into a lifestyle that doesn't agree with me, and I don't want to work jobs that I feel are, and I know it's better if you do know someone. Oftentimes it's much better if you know someone, because you're easier to get a job through somebody that you know. I fully understand that, but and I'm aware of all that. I'm aware of all the garbage that was caused. I'm aware of all the bullshit that was caused. But still, I would rather do something on my own than have to deal with, this bullshit, like this infiltration that I don't deserve and I don't want to deal with, Aside from that, when you deal with people who only abused you, why do you want to continue a relationship with them? I don't want to continue a relationship with these people. I never really had one to begin with. Like I said, when it came to Callie, I only saw her like maybe once or twice, and I don't remember what she looked like. If she was to move next door to me, and I wouldn't recognize her. I honestly and truthfully do not know what this woman looks like at all. I don't know if she's redheaded, blonde, brown hair, does she have gray hair, is she tall, short? I don't know. I don't know her. But she seemed very eager to jump into my life and start controlling stuff, okay? And to think that I would forgive someone who caused me that sort of damage is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, I don't forgive it. So I need these people out of my life, and so I'm just letting Karen Johnson know, Steve Murray know, that these people shouldn't have been in my life from the very beginning. You know what I mean? They shouldn't have been. And they've caused me nothing but pain, along with my family. Now, I think that Jim Culligan probably orchestrated that. Once again, there's another person that wants to involve themselves in my life under terms and the agreements that I would never accept. I don't accept his view of religion. I don't accept it. And all these issues should have never been brought into the workplace from the get-go. And so the issue is like when people are staring at me, watching me, what I'm eating, and if I go for a walk, which I have every right to do, why are they getting upset? Are they upset because they don't want me to? Number one, I can do that anyway, and it has nothing to do with work or looking for work or anything. But I'm not being reserved for Joel, and I'm not being reserved for Steven. And so it really shouldn't concern them, because I don't want either one. I don't want either one. Stephen Lyles is a very good-looking guy. But I don't know him. And I had to take some time out to really meditate and focus on this issue and think about, wait, who is this and why is he involved? If he's involved, then why doesn't he show himself? And if he's not showing himself, then he's just a game player, and I don't want to play games. You know what I mean? I don't. I choose to be autonomous, and for good reason. I have to rely on the work experience that I've had on my past and have people, hey, I know how to do my job. Okay, basically what I'm saying. I know how to do my job. And that's it. That's it. I mean, I don't want to be in environments where people are invading my space. I don't want to be reported to over, well, Maria was eating an apple at her desk and then have some bullshit happen. It's like, I have every right to eat apples at my desk or anything else I want to eat at my desk. And it doesn't have anything to do with you. Okay? I'm not a rival in love with Polly. Okay? The minute you bring incest or something like this into the equation, I don't want it. I don't want Joel. I don't want him. And just because you had good times with people at certain times, once you realize what they are and what they do, it becomes too much. And so I would never forgive someone like that. I just won't. I will never forgive that. You know, I don't appreciate people inviting themselves into my life when I didn't ask them to. I just didn't. I don't appreciate it. You know, so when it comes to Polly Graham, you know, I'm not trying to be a bitch or anything. It's just that, you know what, you don't belong in my life. You don't belong in it. You know, I'm not married to your son, your / husband, whatever. I'm not married to him. Okay, I don't want him. I don't want to be associated with the Graham name. I don't want to be associated with any of that. You know, and so I think you should just go your way and mind your own business. And focus your attention on Joel, or whatever it is that you focus your attention on, because I don't, you know, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to think about you. I don't want you a part of my life. You know, it disturbs me that you would create all of this, and because you are very ignorant, you're an ignorant woman. Why do I say you're an ignorant woman? Because you're an ignorant woman when you call up employers and you try to make these sort of arrangements. Okay, you don't have any legal rights to make those decisions. And then also, why would you try to get back at me when you were married to Joel in the first place? You know what I mean? You don't have to look at me as a rival in love, because I'm not a rival. I don't want your son / husband, or whatever he is. I don't want him. I wouldn't want him. You know, after knowing all of that, that's gross. You know, I mean, I wouldn't want that. So, you know, why would you be involved? You know, I just, you know, I know it's a lot of groundwork when you experience something like targeting. I know it is. You know, I know that it's very hard sometimes because, you know, I don't know people. I don't. You know, everything that you know, I don't know anyone anymore. I've severed ties with all these people because they were part of this chain, you know, that they shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have been involved in. You know, I don't. But regardless, I would rather, you know, contact people myself and look for work. Oh, there's a train that's stalled. I love trains. Trains are awesome. I'd rather do that myself than deal with any more set of arrangements. I don't want it. You know what I mean? Because all it does is make me resent the people that I have to be with, the people that I have to work with. You know, I deal with irrational, illogical demands from people when I shouldn't have to do that. You know, I shouldn't have to, you know, feel uncomfortable going into a workplace and then having people stare at what I'm eating. And they wouldn't be doing that, because I know I've seen other people, they bring yogurt, they bring apples, you know, but I'm the one that everyone's staring at. And I get tired of it. And yeah, I do understand, I don't look like everyone else. I am a black woman in a predominantly white area. You know what? And I don't really have a problem with that. I don't. I'm not ashamed of who I am. But what I don't like, you know, is people expecting me to live up to their standards when I never asked you to be involved in my life in the first place. You know, I don't, you know, if I want to go for a walk, I have every right to go for a walk. And it has nothing to do with, you know, getting back together with Joel or trying to be attractive to Steven, who I haven't seen in God knows how long in person. So I think that's absurd to even bring that up. You know, and I shouldn't even have to explain that. You know what I mean? These violations are against, number one, they're against the law and by violating my personal rights, my rights. So anyway, I don't want Polly Graham, Joel Graham in my life. I know that my son's living over there, you know, because it's convenient, you know, and it makes sense that he would move back there. That doesn't mean that I want to be, you know, a part of Joel's life. I don't want to be a part of Joel's life. You know what I mean? I think Joel is somebody that I'm very leery of and I no longer trust. And I will never be able to trust him again. So it's important, you know, I don't feel any sentimental attachment to him at all anymore. I don't. Because I look at him as somebody who is capable of bad things. And once I see you that way, it's like, well, then, you know, we got to move on. I don't know about, you know, the Lyles family. I just know that they're some people who just basically came out of nowhere. They like literally came out of nowhere. Okay, like I never had any form a connection with them at all. So, I mean, like, whatever. Anyway, I had to get it off my chest because, you know, Polly Graham was like floating around in my mind, and I you know, I think she's someone that I'd rather not have any sort of, I don't want an association with her. I don't want an association with anyone from that family. You know, I prefer to stand on my own. A lot of people do. You know, they do. They just do. They go, they apply for jobs, they talk to employers, they do their own thing. And that's what I need to do. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to work in isolated areas anymore. I shouldn't have to. There's nothing wrong with me. There's no reason why I should be kept away from, you know, regular life. You know, and it's damaging. It's psychologically damaging. It's damaging on many levels because, you know, you don't have to be great friends with people, but you have to be able to work with people and be around people enough, you know, to have a normal life, you know, to feel like well adjusted. I don't feel right about coming all the way out here all the time and working a job all the way out here and being by myself all the time. I just don't, you know what I mean? I'm used to working with other people. And I should. I didn't do anything wrong to be banished or, you know, to be, you know, punished or anything like that. And you get a lot of people from older generations, you know, who have these ideas about, you know, divorce and all this other stuff. Well, you know, those ideas that a lot of people from older generations have could get employers in trouble because they're breaking the law. You know, like I know many years ago, you know, women couldn't find jobs without their husband's permissions. I know that was a long time ago, okay? But since the 1970s, okay, that's no longer the case. So you get people from older generations who still believe this sort of stuff, and they get involved with a woman of this day and age employment, and then you're going to have a lot of problems. And this is when a competent employer would say, wait a second, they're breaking the law. She has every right to. I have every right to. I'm basically saying is, you know, Polly, I'm not trying to be offensive to you or anything like that, but you don't belong in my life. And I know that you created a lot of problems here in this community. You probably even said that I took Joel away from you. I didn't take Joel away from you. I had no idea that you guys were even like that. You know, I mean, why would I think that? But once I understand that, and I don't know, maybe you were reformed, maybe you changed your life, maybe you're a good person now, I don't know, okay? But whatever the case is, you know, sometimes people do things that is so wrong that you just don't want to have any sort of association with them. And that's how I feel about you. I don't want anything to do with you at all. Okay? I find it offensive that you felt entitled to touch something that wasn't yours. That's not yours. It's not. My skills, my goals in life have nothing to do with you. And for you to feel entitled to have some sort of something to do with that, you know, I look at you as a monster. And if you're not a monster, well, maybe I'm wrong, but whatever the case is, it's better for my well-being to not have anything to do with you guys. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I'll be back with another video later. Take care.